What's going on, YouTube? Infinite here. We have returned and I have a special treat for you guys here today. We have a battle against the Notorious HIM, fellow YouTuber. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel down in the description. I would strongly recommend you guys go checking out his channel. I'm a huge fan of his. He's got really high quality content, really high quality battles, and yeah, so I'm gonna leave a link down in the description. I would strongly recommend checking him out. And you could even check out this side of his side of the battle, as I have no idea what my opponent wants to lead. Honestly, looking at his team, I'm like already scared of that Entei. Entei is just a massive threat. I'm either thinking that he could probably lead the Leafeon or the Donphan, but I'm gonna go ahead and lead off with the Scarf Pidgeot to just get a quick U-turn off. Maybe I could transition into something that would be a little more favorable to me. So Notorious, good luck, have fun, as we are about to hop into this battle, guys. As Notorious decides to lead off with the Dumbo, that's the Donphan, and I let off with Pidgeot. As what I'm going to do here turn one is I'm just going to go right for the U-turn. This is exactly why I wanted to lead Pidgeot, just to straight up U-turn out. Maybe I could break that Donphan sturdy, which would be a really good play, and then just go into something a little bit more favorable to me. As we hit that Donphan with a little sturdy, do a little bit of damage, and I'm honestly not sure what he wants to go for. I'd assume maybe Stealth Rocks right here on turn one. So I definitely don't expect the Earthquake against the Pidgeot, so I'm gonna come out with the Ninetales here and see what he wants to do. Maybe set the Sun and get Ninetales in before rocks are set. As Notorious just goes straight for the knockoff, which is a good play, and knocks off the Heat Rock. So now every time we set Sun, we're not getting those extra turns. As you know, Ninetales is known to pack the Solar Beam because he sets Sun and it doesn't take 2 turns. I'm actually going to predict a switch here, not go for the Solar Beam. I'm just going to go for a Fire Blast in the Sun and try to get damage here on just about anything. Now if he stays in here, I don't think this Fire Blast will take out the Donphan, and he can easily Earthquake this Ninetales. But I do expect a switch, so let's see what the Notorious wants to do here. As he does end up withdrawing because the Solar Beam could potentially do a lot. Switches out into the Entei, which is a really good play. He's probably going to eat this Fire Blast up. Does a little bit of damage, not very effective, so very good play on his part. As now I got to somehow try to deal with this huge threat, and I don't really see much that could switch into a Sacred Fire. I mean, I set Sun for the Sacred Fire. He could go for the Extreme Speed. You know what? Something's gonna have to come in here and just take a truckload of damage, and it's really unfortunate. I don't want to lose the Ninetales just yet. So the only thing I can see that could potentially take a hit here, maybe even if it's Sacred Fire in the Sun, it is a resisted hit against the Flygon. So we're gonna come out with the Flygon here and see what Notorious wants to go for. As he opts for the Extreme Speed, does massive damage to the Flygon. That does over half, and honestly at this point I'm just thinking like, dang, he's probably just gonna go for the Extreme Speed again, take out this Flygon. I unfortunately can't switch again, as he surprises me here and decides to switch out right out into the Donphan. Now I went for Earth Power. We are a full special Flygon, and Donphan is mostly physically defensive, so as you can see there, that Earth Power did a lot to that Donphan. And now I'm just predicting an Ice Shard. Honestly, Ice Shard from the Donphan will take out the Flygon at this range. So what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm actually gonna have to switch out into the Ninetales to potentially take an Ice Shard here. As Notorious, he surprises me again, and he just swaps out the Donphan out into the Gyarados, which is actually a really good play for him. So Gyarados is slower than the Ninetales, probably packing like Earthquake, Waterfall. Now, going for Earthquake is a risky play because I do have the Pidgeot. He could also go for Dragon Dance here, so what I'm actually thinking is I want to just get a little bit of damage if he goes for that Dragon Dance. I'm going to have to try to whittle this Gyarados down. So I'm just going to stay in here and just straight up go for the Solar Beam. See what I could do. As the Gyarados is faster than the Ninetales, which is very surprising. That tells me that Gyarados is actually scarfed here, because Ninetales has a higher base speed. As we go for the Solar Beam, and we're just not doing much damage with that. So knowing that this Gyarados is scarfed, I'm actually going to switch out into the Skunk Tank. He locked himself into Crunch. Luckily, Skunk Tank is a Dark type, so it's a resisted hit. As he just goes for the Crunch again, and it just doesn't do much to the Skunk Tank, so luckily we got that switch correct. As now, I don't expect this Gyarados to want to stay in. I'm going to go for the Toxic to try to poison something, and if this Gyarados does stay in, I would absolutely love to get a poison on this Gyarados. But we'll see what happens as the Gyarados does switch out into the Lantern, as we get a Toxic off, and now we just get to poison this Lantern, get some residual damage on this thing. As now I'm not even sure what Notorious wants to go for here. I'm honestly thinking that he could go for an electric attack, maybe a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt. And I'm going to try to call that and go out into Flygon here. As he makes the correct play, goes for the Scald. Really good play from Notorious there. And definitely gets the Scald burn. So either way, Flygon was going to be on his last leg after taking that Scald damage. So no worries about the burn because we are a full special attacker. As now we're down to 4 HP, and honestly we even have Life Orb, so I really just have to get off my biggest attack. It's going to be the Draco Meteor 130 base power dragon move, as he does decide to switch out the Lantern, back out into the Donphan. We don't miss the Draco, which would have been really unfortunate, and that's able to take out that Donphan there. And that was Flygon's last turn for sure. I mean, Life Orb and Burn. As, of course, Life Orb comes in first, and Flygon is down. So, now we have a clear battlefield here, and dang, I'm not even sure what Notorious wants to go into. I'm thinking about Kecleon here, maybe to set some rocks. I know I need to get some rocks up here real soon. Thinking Ninetales could potentially come in, but I'm actually going to go into the Pidgeot with the Choice Scarf and just do what I did at the beginning of the battle and just U-turn out into something that could potentially be a little bit more favorable of a matchup. So we'll see what Notorious wants to come out with here as we go out with our Pidgeot. And he decides Entei. You know what? A choice. I'm really thinking that this Entei is choiced. He did major damage to that Flygon, and a choice banded extreme speed would hurt the Pidgeot a lot, but I really just don't have a switch into that. I'm looking, if I switch in, something is gonna go down in 2 hits. So what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm actually just gonna have to stay in and hope he doesn't go for the extreme speed, honestly, and just go for a Choice Scarf U-turn. As he doesn't decide extreme speed on this turn, as now I'm expecting a Sacred Fire since the extreme speed didn't come through, and nothing I have wants to take a Sacred Fire. And so with that being said, I'm just going to throw out the Ninetales. I know it sets the sun and boosts the power of his Sacred Fire, but I'm just going to sack off the Ninetales here because I have a play that I want to go for after the Ninetales faints. As the Sacred Fire does come through, obliterates the Ninetales, and down goes Ninetales. So my play is to go into the Leafeon here. Leafeon in Sun is a huge threat, and I do have Power Herb Dig, and this is really the only way that I can deal with this Entei. So I'm gonna hope that he wants to stay in, go for the Sacred Fire here, as I can get off a ground move. I'm sure he's probably questioning why the Leafeon came in here, because I'm weak to fire. And I mean, a Sacred Fire in the Sun would absolutely destroy the Leafeon. But a little trick up our sleeve with the Power Herb Dig, as he does know what's up. He kind of guessed that something was up there, so he decides to switch out into Tefiti, which is the Shaman, and that's actually a really good play from him. As we use the Power Herb Dig, and that's a resisted hit against that Shaman, so that's unfortunate. As you know, with Chlorophyll, I'm thinking that I could just get off a Swords Dance here. I don't know what this... Oh, he has Air Slash, and he misses the Air Slash. You know what I'm realizing here at this point in the battle is that that Shaman was faster than the Leafeon in Sun, and I see it there, and I realize I made a huge mistake. Leafeon does not have Chlorophyll. It's actually got Leaf Guard. I brought the wrong Leafeon to this battle, and that's really unfortunate, because if I would have got a Swords Dance and then he would have missed the Air Slash, I would have been able to hit that thing with an X Scissor. But now we're slower. We're slower in Sun, so that's a huge mistake on my part. As our opponent does miss a second Air Slash in the row, and that is extremely unfortunate for Notorious. That's a tough blow. As now we just go for the Poison Jabs, see what we can do. As that's just a huge bummer about that Leafeon. I made that mistake, and I brought the wrong one. Leaf Guard is basically can't get status condition in the Sun, whereas Chlorophyll doubles your speed. So we go for the Poison Jab here as he switches into the Lantern, so we could do a little bit of damage. And with the Poison Jab damage and the being poison damage, I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch and try to do a little bit here. I don't think it knocks out this Lantern, who looks to be pretty defensive. Gets him down to the red as he's able to freely go for the Discharge. And luckily does not get the para there. Paralysis would have definitely hurt the Skunk Tank. And so the Lantern is real low, and you know what? I'm not going to go for the Sucker Punch. I actually don't think he's going to want to stay in. He saw Sucker Punch, so I'm just going to switch. Expecting a switch from him, and we'll see. I'll save Skunk Tank for a little bit later in the battle. The reason I come out with Leafeon here is because, I'll be honest, this Leafeon, I was thinking with the wrong ability and no Sun out anyways, that I'm just gonna stay in with the Leafeon until he goes down. So let's just stay in and go for a Leaf Blade against this Gyarados, who should definitely be faster. I'm pretty sure we confirmed that this Gyarados is Choice Scarf the way he outsped that Ninetales, as he misses an Ice Fang there. Man, the misses that he's getting against me. Honestly, those two Air Slashes and an Ice Fang, that's super unfortunate. I wouldn't wish that upon any opponent. 3 misses like that on 95% accurate moves. I actually think Leafeon can take an Ice Fang, so I'm just going to stay in. He does land this one, as it doesn't do quite half, and the Leaf Blade is able to take out that Gyarados there. So Yeah, 3 misses. This Leafeon has 9 lives, I guess. I mean, that air slash from the Shaman would have definitely taken out this Leafeon, I would say. And then I think 2 Ice Fangs. So that's just super unfortunate. You don't like to see it, because that's going to play a huge part in this battle. As now Leafeon just stays out. We'll see what the Notorious wants to go into here. So some definite misplays by me, not bringing the right Leafeon with Chlorophyll. I was probably able to bluff the Chlorophyll at least for a little bit until that Shaman outsped. And now we got a battle of evolutions. I'm luckily packing the X Scissor. I'm not sure if I die to a big attack here as he goes for the Shadow Ball. I was hoping I didn't, as Leafeon does tank that Shadow Ball, and we get off a big X Scissor here. And that's enough to take out that Espeon as I win the battle of evolutions there. So that feels good that Leafeon was able to survive with very little HP, as now he just gets to switch into whatever he wants. As he decides this Entei, and I'll tell you what guys, this Entei here is a huge problem. Like, I have nothing that wants to deal with this Entei, as now I'm just going to stay in. Extreme Speed is the easy play. Takes out the Leafeon, of course. As now I'm down to Kecleon, Pidgeot, and Skuntank. And, wow, not much that can do much to this thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come out with the Skuntank, and I'm going to go for the Poison Jab. Extreme Speed is actually a +2 priority, and Sucker Punch is only +1. So if I try to go for the Sucker Punch, that's not going to work, as I have to go for the Poison Jab and try to get a poison on this huge threat of an Entei here. Goes for the Extreme Speed again. Skuntank is defensive, so was able to tank that a little bit, as Poison Jab comes through and gets this Entei down to the red. Now I can't go for Sucker Punch. Extreme Speed will definitely take me out. And I'm not quite sure if I want to let Skuntank just go down yet, because a Sucker Punch a little later might come in handy. And honestly, my only hope here is that maybe Kecleon can survive 2 Extreme Speeds. I'm actually not sure. I don't think he can. And it's actually looking a little tough right now, as Extreme Speed can just mop up the rest of my team, it looks like. So, and to my surprise again, he does swap the Entei, goes back out into the Lantern, as I also swapped and went for the Kecleon. And now is a really good time to get those rocks up. I saw that Entei was in red, and I don't want that Entei to be able to come back in. Now this Lantern is on its last leg. The poison damage on the next turn is going to take this out. So goes for the Discharge. See if he gets a paralysis. We get lucky there. We've been real fortunate with RNG this match, I will admit, as we get rocks up now. And now I don't think that Entei is going to be able to come back in on those rocks, which is exactly what I needed. It's the only way I could think of to deal with that Entei. As the Lantern does go down to poison damage on that turn. So Notorious has the Entei and this Shaman, and he has to come out with this Shaman here. As I'm just gonna go for a Sucker Punch on this turn. See how much damage we can do with this. Does quite a bit. as the Shaman goes for the Giga Drain, and that does huge damage to the Kecleon. And restores him up a little bit as he loses a little bit of HP because of the Life Orb. And here, I'm not sure what he wants to go for. I actually misplayed here. I probably should have just gone for the Sucker Punch again. So another misplay on my part as he's able to get the Dazzling Gleam KO. And now we got less than a minute in this battle, so could come right down to the wire. I have to come out with Skunk Tank here and just go for another Sucker Punch. So dual Sucker Punch on this team can come in quite handy here. And I'm not even sure that this Sucker Punch KOs this Shaman as we go for it. It does not KO the Shaman, but it gets it real low. Knocks out the Skunk Tank with another Dazzling Gleam. As the Life Orb does take out that Shaman. We got 20 seconds left in this battle. And now I just throw in the Pidgeot, and we'll see if this Entei does survive Stealth Rocks. As it does not, and the Stealth Rocks are able to take out the Entei there, and that was big time clutch. The only way I knew how to deal with that Entei, and he was a massive threat. I want to thank Notorious so much for the battle. Like I said, guys, please go check out his channel if you guys get the chance. Drop a sub, check out his side of the battle, leave a like on the video, show some support to my guy, and that's the end of this one. So I really appreciate him again. So you guys take care, and we'll see you guys next time.